So apparently there's a dolphin that beached onto like Texas's shore. And the only reason that this was like a news thing is that a group of people
fucked it.
They claimed harassed it by riding it. Not in that way. It was a female.
That's even better.
It was female, and they were swimming with it.
Willing.
And what they claim is that because of this action, it stressed out the dolphin and it died. So humans 1, dolphins 0. Well, I'm pretty sure dolphins are probably more like 1,000, but you know.
Dolphins are too smart to...
Yeah, they're too smart to not be ridden.
Oh, God.
Nice. That was the best way to put it. Yeah.
No, they ride you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know. There's a guy that rode, fucked one. So.
Well, there was also one that fucked a female, too.
I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm. She had intimate relationships. It was at SeaWorld?
Hi, welcome to SeaWorld.
It was a long time ago.
Oh shit, everyone's here.
Yeah, but no, I hate dolphins. Dolphins can go to hell.
Can go be ridden on and die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And another piece of funny news, a scientist, and the reason I put it in quotes because no scientist shouldn't have that. Okay. The person shouldn't have had that fucking title because they were arrested, what they say, for protesting climate change. However, that was just the headline. And in the fucking paragraphs, it said because she threw blood at the Parliament building in Spain. She threw blood at a Parliament building. No shit, she's getting arrested. You can't just throw blood at a fucking building and expect not to get arrested. Come on.
But that'd be fun.
It's probably her period blood, to be honest. And that's why they arrested her.
Too. I mean, it's like spitting on someone in a way.
Yeah. Anyway, she's not a scientist.
A lot worse than spitting on somebody.
And whatever institution gave her the term scientist should be shut down because a scientist, I'm not a scientist. Okay. I have studied science. See, I don't even call myself a scientist because I'm too much of a dumbass sometimes. So, a scientist's role is to experiment and study certain things that they have observed in their life to move forward the realm of science. And if you're sitting on a fucking sidewalk, chained to a fucking fence, throwing blood at a parliament building, you're not a scientist. So the title should have been, some bitch decided to throw some blood on a parliament building and got arrested. Fucking deserved. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Climate change is not so significant to anyone's life that you should protest in the street for it. Because what are you protesting? The reason to protest is you're protesting something specifically that you want removed or something that you want added. What are you protesting? What do you want happen? People make legislation about climate change? Okay, then what? Nothing happens. It's like, what do you want? You have to make it specific. And the reason that also the Black Lives Matter riots and protests didn't work is because, okay, what do you want? What are your what is it called? You know, when like a hostage situation?
Negotiations?
Yeah. No, like what do you want? What is that called? Like what are your
demands?
What do you
demands.
desire?
Yeah, what are your demands as a protest? What is your demands as a protest that we can either instate or not instate? Like
it was all just to cause chaos.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Well, and everyone was stuck in the house, and now we're in the summer, now we can go have fun and ride. Woo! I'm gonna burn this cop car, yeah! It's like, yeah, no shit.
I mean,
cabin fever will do a lot to a motherfucker.
Low key, that would be kind of fun.
It would
riot.
be. Yeah.
It would be.
I wouldn't be a part of it, but I'd be watching.
Oh, I'd be a part of it.
I know you would.
Lighting shit on fire.
You're the redhead.
Molotovs.
It's in your blood.
Oh yeah. Cause chaos.
It's in my cack. Anyway,
I might be a sweet and nice guy, but
how? Continue.
You know, little fucked up.
Well, that's because of your incessant, accidents, because of your foolishness.
It wasn't my foolishness.
Hey, you rode the bike that day.
Okay, you're alive, and I can't tell you to not be alive.
Yeah, you can.
You're gonna fall down the stairs. Well, you shouldn't have woke up that day.
I know.
Good point.
You shouldn't have used the stairs.
Should have stayed in bed, damn it.
Oh, I got fired. Shouldn't have gone to work that day.
Ah, shit. You're right. I don't get fired. They get fired.
Like that's
Right up the asshole, too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Continuing on, what I was trying to say is that the trucker protest, you remember that? Canadian truckers.
yeah.
They had, I believe, one or two demands. One, like, release all of the lockdowns and release, like, the mask, and don't enforce any kind of vaccine passport, and then we'll leave. They had two demands.
And it worked.
None of them were met, but that's still how a protest is supposed to work. You have a specific demand that you want met, and if not met, you will stay there. No, instead we're just going to be some lazy bitches that won't do their fucking job on. And I bet you they were fucking paid too. They were paid to sit there. They were paid by whatever institution decided to hire them to go out and protest and sit there and not do their fucking job, because it's just so interesting to me that it's like, your virtue is funded by everybody else. It's like, okay, that's not virtue. That's just going along with the crowd. It's like, that's no virtue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
fair.
the climate issue. Do you believe there's climate change?
No. Well, yes
Yes.
and no.
You do?
I've seen proof of it.
Okay, there's two
From
things.
where I've traveled.
There's two
I
things
think
I want
it's
to
the
say.
world, because the universe has a cycle.
Yeah, it could be.
Like a
And-
period. That's why the weather's so fucked up.
I
We're on
think
our period. We
But I
literally,
mean,
we
100-year
literally
period.
had this size snowballs falling from the sky. Not hail, snowballs.
55-degree weather.
In 55-degree weather. Snowballs! I've never seen soft hail in my life, and it was just everywhere. In Washington, it snowed in the middle of fucking April. It's never done that since he's been born.
Huh.
We're going through our period.
Fun fact.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah.
I mean, the world is changing and the climate is changing, but I believe that it's not
The Earth
because
is pulling a new year, new me.
I think it's honestly switching genders.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Transgender now. Let me change.
Why don't you guys love her?
The world got smart. The universe got smart and was like, I'm going with the movement.
I want titties, so two mountains erupt in the middle of Africa, just fucking mounds. Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious.
No, but
A
to an extent.
crevice opens across Antarctica.
Isn't that what the Mariana Trench is?
No. Mariana Trench is right next to Japan. But Antarctica, what I'm
Yeah, it's fishy.
referring to is vagina. Like, it's opening up its
exactly.
vagina. Yeah,
Mariana Trench.
Mariana
Maybe
Trench.
that's the old
But that's
one.
not the right spot of Earth where the vagina would be. The vagina is at, like, the bottom of the Earth,
Okay,
not at the
but think about
side
this.
of
It's off-
part of the
it's-
Japan.
It's by Japan, right? It smells like fish. What else smells like fish?
But I'm pretty sure Antarctica smells like
Your
fish
mouth.
too. Also, I think. Is it better? Yeah. Well,
I
not
turned
really.
it down a little bit.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
I
got
sound so
loud.
muffled. What do you mean I got so loud?
It just hurt my ears. My ears are sensitive.
Okay, bringing it back. Climate. What does that even fucking mean? Do you know?
I mean, you can climb anything.
Fuck you. Climate, as far as I know, refers to a certain period of time in which weather undergoes. So you could say that the climate of the summer in Washington is hot or dry or whatever. So it would make sense that from season to season the climate changes.
Yeah.
It's a non-falsifiable hypothesis. It's like, well, the climate changes. It's like, yeah, no, fuck it. Dude, no shit.
Every quarter.
It's like the reason it went from global warming to climate change is because you can never falsify climate change, because stuff like what happened in Washington will happen and we'd be like, oh, the climate's changing. Oh, it must be climate change instead of global warming, because we wouldn't call it global warming if snow's falling from the sky in April. So that's the one irk that I have with the term climate change. And the second thing is, okay, they always claim the main problem is CO2 emissions. I have two problems with that. One, how much CO2 is too much? And two, how much are we contributing?
A lot.
Can you prove how much we're contributing? Sure, you can see a rise. But how much does it need to keep going before it gets to the point where you're starting to snuff things out?
That's true.
At what point is it too much? And
It
here's
would
the other.
be, in my own thoughts, it would be almost not impossible.
'Cause right now, the Earth's atmosphere is at about 2% CO2. 2% of the Earth's atmosphere is CO2. The rest, most of it is nitrogen, then oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen, I believe, make up more than 50% of the Earth's atmosphere. CO2 makes up 2%, if not even maybe even 1%.
We just need to stop breathing, and we can bring it back down to 0.
That's another point I want to bring up.
I mean, Japan's trying it,
That's another point I want to bring
You
up.
mean China?
Number 2,
or whatever. China, Japan.
plants use CO2 in order to build sugars. They're the opposite of us in some ways. They also use the same thing that we do. We breathe in oxygen, not just purely oxygen, but we breathe in oxygen and let out CO2, right? Plants take in CO2 and release oxygen. It's a cycle that we undergo as a society and as an environment. So, are the plants struggling to keep up with the CO2 emissions? Or are they thriving in the increase in CO2? Because if they're thriving in the increase in CO2, then we don't really have that much of a problem because you have certain things offloading the CO2 in the air to the point, it's called homeostasis, where it's not just rising exponentially. It's like, no, it's going to taper off because eventually the plants are going to use more and more and more of it. Plants are going to become more fertile over time because they can use more sugars because there's more CO2 in the atmosphere.
I wonder if the more plants there are, the more fertile we are.
I mean, you still got to kind of... Not this. It's got to be this specifically in the right hole, not the anus. I'm not referring to the anus.
Maybe
Penis without a condom, vagina without any birth control. Inside, of course, the woman has to be at least less than 30 years old. Yes, it's a little bit more complicated than that, and then the guy has and ta-da, baby.
And
that's how I'm going to describe birds and the bees.
Older
with my,
than 11 years
son.
old.
Honestly, I'm just gonna be like, you know what a penis is?
Yeah.
Biological.
Girls
You know
have
what a
the opposite.
vagina is?
Yeah.
You fuck it.
You
What,
fuck
you
it
don't know
until
what
the white
fucking
stuff
means?
comes out.
It means. Never mind. I'm not. I'm not gonna do this.
So anyway, yeah, my main thing about climate change, like until you can prove at what level is too dangerous, it's like, okay, you're constantly in this cycle of always causing or saying gloom and doom about the future when 50 years ago they're global cooling and they're like, by the year 2000 the earth will be like half of its current inhabitants kind of thing, and we're thriving. And then Al Gore also said in the, I believe, early 1990s that by 2010 Florida would be completely submerged in water. That didn't fucking happen. So until they can actually give a model that is accurately describing and predicting what is going to happen, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
It's just incessantly trying to make you fear something that isn't a major part of your life.
Yeah.
You're more likely to die by lightning than the inevitable climate change that will eventually occur.
I mean, you're more likely to.
You're more likely to be mauled by a fucking bear in Antarctica, where no bears live.
That's
Polar
not
bear.
true.
Polar bears live in the North Pole, you dumbass.
Antarctic.
Antarctic.
Is
No.
North Pole.
No, Antarctica is the South Pole. The North Pole has no
No, I'm pretty
defined
sure they
continental
do.
mass.
They have. Polar.
It's in the North
don't know.
Pole. The South
I get
Pole has some
You're the
seals,
geo-
some penguins,
I get
but it does not
confused.
have polar bears. Polar bears are the only bears that actively hunt humans. Actually, I believe the only... No, not the only animal, but one of the only animals that
I thought-
actively hunt humans. Not that they won't, like other animals won't hunt humans, but they're not actively trying to hunt a human. I think we just have mad
Doesn't-
respect
Don't
among all
both
the animals.
poles have ice though? Still?
Yeah.
Okay, they just don't have land.
Well, yeah, and it increases and decreases, increases and decreases. But Antarctica, it has land, but the North Pole not as much. Like Greenland is most the land mass of the North Pole. Rest of it's mostly ocean. So the more you know.
Geology.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no shit.
I think that would be meteorology. And one argument that a lot of people make, and I think that they make falsely, is, well, all of the weather systems that we've been having are more and more volatile and it just keeps getting worse and worse. Hurricanes, there's more hurricanes and more worse hurricanes, and there's more tornadoes and worse tornadoes. It's been pretty consistent. I don't know what else to say. It's like if you're not paying attention, then yeah, it looks like a lot, but it's been pretty fucking consistent. So, also, the only problem with CO2, and I'll give them a couple points. The only problem with CO2 is that whenever it goes into water, it'll create an acidic environment, lowering the pH, making it more acidic, and causing some of the coral reefs to deshed and die off and whatever, ruining the ecosystem. But who the fuck cares? It's Australia. They deserve the death that comes to them. I mean, come on. You should have taken the sign that all the animals want to fucking kill you. Why the fuck do you still live there? It was literally a penile colony. Penile colony?
Penile?
Penile?
Isn't-
Like a prison colony.
Does that mean penis?
Yeah,
No.
penile.
No, peniles.
Penile?
No, penal.
Penile.
Penal system.
Penile.
Penal
is
is
the penis.
prison.
Yeah, that's why I got so confused.
Sorry, I always get that mixed up. Penile. Well, because prison, rape, penis, it's always get mixed up.
Mm.
Good thing I haven't been in prison.
I'll probably see a prison one day.
I mean, I've been inside one after it was decommissioned. So
I want to do that. That'd be fun.
yeah, there's one in Montana. I think it's called Deer Lodge. You can look it up. I've been
I'd
there.
like to go to.
Apparently it's
what's the
haunted.
one on the island?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
I don't even know if they allow people to go there anymore. I mean, considering San Francisco, I doubt it.
I think we tried to, but we couldn't.
I don't think you can anymore. Like, it's only special visitors.
Probably too unsafe.
Hi, my name is Kim Kardashian, and I am going to venture Alcatraz. Oh my god, Alcatraz is almost as big as my ass.